What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Planetbase, where we are chillaxing, hanging out, relaxing, all cool, and definitely there's no b-ball around here, so unfortunately there's no way for me to make people happier that way. Still, they are ingesting lots of, I don't know, video media and things like that. Hopefully they'll start feeling better pretty soon. Had a little bit of a fall off in the previous episode. It looks like people are still dying of starvation over on this side, and that's going to be due to the fact that I have too many people congregating on this side. And there's not a lot of ways for me to retrofit this. Like, I've been looking at it for a little bit, and unfortunately, the only thing that I could come up with is maybe bulldoze everything over here and then redesign it from this side forward. Because this entire area over here is from when we first landed on the planet and we had very desperate research. I'm sorry, we had low resources. We couldn't really get anything done, and so everything is tiny over here. Everything is spaced out weird. Everything is unfortunately kind of a waste of space on this side. And so, yeah, it looks like all the people dying of starvation are on this side over here. The meal makers appear to be quite inefficient on this side. Yeah. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get around that. And how exactly we're going to make that happen, I really actually don't know. There's not a lot that I can bulldoze here. I mean, this is worthless. Nobody even uses this, so we might as well get rid of it. Once that's gone, I can get rid of this lab as well. I don't see anybody would split the base into because there's a link missing. I mean, just put the link in right there then. And then once that's done, we'll bulldoze that. Maybe link these. Doesn't look like they can, but I would need to wipe this side too. Yeah, it's all people down and in over here, unfortunately. I could probably make this a tad more efficient. Get rid of the water fountains real quick. And if I could place those in alternate spots, we could put in another table, which I think would help out a little bit in here. And I think that would give us a tad more room to play around with regards to the starvation. I think I could probably do the same thing over here. But more likely than not, I'm going to have to do a bit more retrofitting to make this work. So the two tables on that side, there's enough water fountains in there. Why are these structures so frequently out of oxygen? It's got to have something to do with that busted-ass connection that nobody's fixing. I think I need more hauler bots, too. Got people built over here. If we could go to this thing on this side, what are you making? Driller bots? Make carrier bots, actually. Make as many carrier bots as you can. I don't care if you have to restart or whatever. It's all good. I would actually very much like to recycle this. That'll save us a little bit of space. And retrofitting is actually kind of an interesting task here. These meal makers. Maybe add another table over here somewhere. I think I could probably make this a tad more efficient. Somebody else just died of starvation. I heard him. Oh, asphyxiation. Even better. So wipe these. And make them a tiny bit more efficient. They'll move over to the video screen there. We'll put in a couple of water fountains on this side. Maybe. Is there one back in the corner? Put one in the corner, too. I'm just going to let people die off as they desire while I retrofit things and kind of move things around and make them a little bit more efficient. Asphyxiation. I mean, if somebody would actually fix this, we'd have a little bit of an easier problem, but it doesn't look like anybody's interested in really moving anything around either. Got a couple of visitor ships, but, like, I can't build another airlock over here until... Let's get rid of those. See, why can't an airlock go right there? That makes no sense whatsoever. Here, just recycle it then if it's not going to work. I think it's like leaking oxygen or something like that. And then I'll rebuild another tunnel when need be here. I think the path is too far, so most people just aren't going around. Just don't care. I'm going to carrier bot right there. Do I have the money for it? Kinda. Well, take that on up, and then we'll go 3 medicinal plants right there because the carrier bots will help out right now as well. But realistically, what if I bulldoze that right there? If I bulldoze that right there, will I then be able to make a new airlock on this side? Because that's what I really want right here. And so if I can make this happen at least kind of efficiently, I'll feel better about it. Whereas on this side, we could then go in and we might be able to... It looks like happiness issues are an issue over here, like going with a multi-dome over here or something. Kind of a long hallway for what I wanted to accomplish, but it'll work out for right now. It forces some people to move around a little bit more than I like. We got a couple more carrier bots right here, too. He's got a 60% commission, though, so it's getting kind of expensive. I'll probably just take his cash, then. Oh, that's going to be way more than I can actually effectively ferry. Never mind, I can't effectively ferry right now. My ability to Tinkerbell is limited. Never mind. We've got guards working security consoles on that side. Spares are starting to recover now that I prioritize this. Take the priority off now that we got our spares back. If it continues to fall off, I'll give it another go. But this is more or less just going to be an episode where I go through and kind of just like retrofit things and make them work a little bit better. Some of this stuff is not going to be fixable. I mean... it's unfortunate. Luckily, it looks like there's a lot of guards around, but I think we're going to lose them in combat. I mean, unless they do like a really good job at whacking some of these fools. There you go. How dare you kill my biologist? Death by grievous wounds. This guy's trapped in a wall, so I have no idea what's going on with him. To figure that out in just a minute. I'm sure it'll sort itself out eventually. Let's go ahead and move this thing along. But yeah, like the trying to basically when you're retrofitting things, you start to find little idiosyncrasies and inefficiencies in the base, and then when you get rid of them, it creates even bigger problems. And so you're gonna have like some of these issues where the population's gonna fall off a little bit while I fix some of this stuff because it is what it is. The stockpile over here is almost doing like nothing. It may also be due to food shortages and them not being able to reload. Are these GM tomato pads? They are not. So in order to properly produce food for this area, we might be able to go in. Yeah, I was going to say, I think a biodome is going to be too big for this area. And putting it this far down is going to be pointless. This big guy over here, though. If I could do this a little better. How are starches? Starches are decreasing, actually, I think. So let's say that I get rid of some of these radish pads. And we replace these with the GMs so that they work a little bit better. I mean, we took all that time and money to make the GM pads. Why not actually put them in play, you know? GM tomatoes, GM onions. I'll keep the potato pads just because it seems like we're finally starting to fall off on starch, and that's okay. Instead of the lettuce pads, I'd probably put in something a little bit higher maintenance on this side, too. Something that's going to produce a little bit better. Connection's finally been built on one side versus another. Multi-dome. So we'll just make this into like the arm day corner here. How do you rotate something? Probably just go like something like that. And if I put this in a better spot, this will handle some of the runoff from the bar, which will help out a little bit. I mean, we just got less efficient at loading. Less efficient at loading. 65% commission. Get out of here. We just got less efficient at loading stuff because we have no other airlock on this side. But what we did do is we did make things a little bit more efficient. And obviously, we're still hanging out kind of at a decent level of happiness. And yeah, our score is like way up right now. So I think that as I work on these things, it should get a little bit better. It's just an adjustment period for me. That's all that it is. Like, you've slowly got to kind of just like work out the kinks because you don't know what you're doing when you first start and you build a shitty base, and then, you know, you got to force the shitty base to function, which is not necessarily always super easy. This multi-dome appears to be getting a little bit more use. So hopefully unhappy people that are in the area will handle this one. And let's make sure we're using up all of this equitable space. This doesn't use power, does it? I was going to say, it'd be even better if these generated power. Because, I mean, technically, you've got a human being turning a wheel. So why not make them generate power, too? We'll get a little bit more water in here. Make this kind of like a centralized water station for anybody that can't get it. And we'll put in some decorative plants and other little happy things that make people stoked. That'd be super badass, though, if these generated a little bit of electricity whenever somebody used them. Definitely make me happier. It looks like people are using it, kinda. I mean... it might work out. You can't actually see how much it helps out with happiness, because you can't click on people while they're using the objects. But I figure it probably helps out a little bit. This will give us a little bit extra water to play around with, too. We got another trade ship on this side. I'm just going to check him to see what his commission is. A little bit better. Tiny bit more acceptable. So we'll start accumulating a little bit of cash here instead of sitting around being poor like we have in the last couple of episodes, because I don't enjoy that very much. I like having them fat stacks of Gouda if I can help it. That side we appear to be worked out. This is more of a maintenance hatch than anything else, though. We got a big old radio antenna on that side giving us 65% coverage. So that's really, really good. I don't know if these are linked to maybe bigger or smaller telescopes. I think it actually raises the chance when you get a different telescope. And so building a bigger telescope out here might help, too. I know you guys mentioned that down in the comments. I'm trying to make mention of like the things that I've seen in the comments that I'm actually mooching from you guys. Just, I feel like I don't vocalize that well enough, and so it creates, we got spatial accident victims. Our drug situation is a little bit but yeah, they can come down. Never let it be said that I'm a cold-hearted individual. There's like 50 of you, though. This is probably, yeah, there's a lot of you, and we don't really have that many medical bays. So this might be an issue. Don't think I can stick anything in over here. I would love to fill in some of these smaller spaces, but the game is really, really finicky about smaller placements. Like, it very much likes to maintain a certain amount of operating space in between it and other things. That might work on that side. I'll have to kill a couple of the satellite terminals or whatever. That's what those were. Those radio or satellite? Either way. We'll put in a couple more terminals right there. Couple more terminals right there, and it'll work out just fine. I need another medical bay. Our medical bay is a little bit too small right now for some of the disaster victims that we have running around, and so they're walking around dying in weird places, and it's upsetting people. Apparently, people don't like seeing horrible spatial-related, I don't know, spatial anomaly-related deaths. They don't enjoy that at all. I'll also go in a little bit deeper on security on this side now that I know that I can't utilize that space right there. Down here, yeah, we're bleeding out starch right now, so maybe I went a little bit overboard with the elimination of starch-related paddocks, and so we'll put in a couple of rice plants over here. There we go. That'll do it. We definitely don't need the medicinal plants, so the amount of medicinal plants that we're consuming right now, 60% commission. Be gone! We are making money off visitors, though, which is pretty cool. Making lots of money off visitors. And actually, looks like everybody's pretty unhappy right now, so hopefully that'll get it sorted out. Just a minute. The multi-domes, I don't think they like them quite as much as they like the liquor. Don't think they like them quite as much as they like the liquor. It's getting used. Mostly it's just there to be run off from the bars down here at the bottom. Just in case. Nailing down a bit of prestige, getting some of that stuff done. Is this a bar down here? Okay, so this is a bar down here. It looks like maybe they would like to have a few more areas to sleep down here. And so what I would do is I would take O2 generators. And I think I would just space them a little bit more. So that we're making use of the land here. Probably not the worst idea we've ever had, considering this is kind of at the bottom. So I could do one more O2 generator, then do another one over there, but meh, it'll be fine for right now. Trade ship, what's your commission? 40%, sounds good to me. Enjoy medical related supplies. And $1. I think the bigger satellite will make me a tatter, or the bigger dome over here will make me slightly more efficient at shooting things down, which will be good, but I think it takes more people to run one of those. So we'll keep an eye on it as time goes along. Water grid is looking good, so water grid's holding out. Oxygen grid is fantastic. I think we've just had trouble. We got 243 right now. So with 243, we got people working on that. I'll probably build another big bunkhouse around somewhere. Something that's not personalized, but something that'll at least take runoff from other areas. It doesn't look like I can connect those, so I'll just have it connect right there. I wish that it would connect from right here, though. So if I could get it to work, that'd be great. Like right there would be perfect. Nope, doesn't like that one either. It needs that they gotta make those little lines better so that you can tell what will connect to multis and what will not. Like basically make it like a little, I don't know, like a hasher line if you only get to pick one. Oh, that's right, it's a T-junction. Never mind, I'm an idiot. Never mind, I'm stupid. I've been playing for 30 episodes and I still can't memorize basic facts. Okay, so if we're gonna have the dorm go from one direction versus another, probably have it attached to right there then. Meanwhile, let's take a look. We got plenty of food. The food is absolutely just bang up right now. These guys down in here trying to make themselves happier, but it's not working. It's just not working. There's beers all ready to go. The beers seem to work the best, but they seem to choose stuff kind of semi at random. I'm not really so sure how they pick what thing that they want to alleviate their happiness with. Maybe it's based on personal preference. It'd be kind of cool if they each had their own little things that they're more inclined to take part in. Do another robotics facility. That'd help out a little bit. I don't think I'm actually producing anything down here, so I'll probably just keep that where it's at. Got a big cabin on this side that's not being utilized, so I should probably jump in on that. And God only knows how long that's been sitting there. I'm sure I've been soaking up comments for days. That one's sitting there. I think I could get an extra bed in there if I could squeeze them a little bit tighter, but I don't want to sit here being super pedantic about placement in the middle of a recording. Trade ship is landed. We're losing a couple more drones. I should probably build another drone space too, just to help out with that, but we'll get that all nice and finished. That'll look beautiful once it's all done. How is our distribution of like random people going? So we've got a lot of biologists. That's a pretty good thing. So I'm going to take the edge off biologists for a little while. And maybe spread a little bit of the love out like so. We lost another guy to starvation. More than likely on this side of the base. Since we got problems over here. You know, I might be able to nix some of these manufacturing facilities. It'd take some time to get done. But let's assume for a second that I could put in another airlock right there. Yeah, then I could go through and I could recycle these on this side. I'm going to wait till that's done before I recycle these, but Got a plan. I don't know if they're starving due to the fact that these little... Let me take a look here and just kind of watch. These appear to have meals inside of them, and so my assumption is not that it's the raw materials. Instead, I think it's that they need like a big dining room off on the... Well, they have one right here. If I bulldoze that plant and kind of just optimize my space here... I think maybe we just don't have enough tables. Could I go singles anywhere? No. Well, the extra table will help out a little bit. Put in like a potted plant right there or something. It's also still, that bothers me that it doesn't process... Does not process the excess stuff into meals that are in there. But it's doing it for this one for some reason. Does it because it uses both? It takes one meat and one. I don't think it does. Because in the beginning of the game, we could totally feed people just off vegetables, and it was fine. I'm gonna watch this for a minute, though. Huh? That time it processed all of them. Who even knows? Who even knows? Weird. Very, very weird. That's going to help out a little bit, though. I hope. Instead of people just chilling around starving. It's got to be table space or something. Because this was all full before. Keep an eye on. I'm just watching the way that things function over here so I can get a feel for what's happening. Nothing better than observation when it comes to sorting out what's going wrong. The starvation issue is interesting because the facilities in this area should be taking care of this. Like, we've got empty table space and whatnot. Yeah, we got plenty of empty table space. So I would have to assume that they're just being belligerent and not going to the side that I want them to go to, or otherwise. Starch is actually decreasing pretty quick now. Might want to continue nixing some of these medicinal pads. You only really need 2 or 3 anyways. And then from there, we'll go maize pad, and then we'll go, I don't know, like a wheat pad or something. There's a little bit more starch so it doesn't fall off. I'll get the balance correct somewhere in here. Also run it, you know, I'm probably just going to leave this prioritized. Keep them working on spares. I probably bulldozed a spare factory down here too, but manufacturing should be done in other locations anyways. This right here is a large dorm. So we'll go ahead and let them have like a really, really big dorm in here. And that'll take a little bit of pressure off. Chilling at 243 for right now. Trade ship on that side with a 65% commish. I'll probably take it because I need the cash. I don't like it, but I'll take it right now because I don't really have much of a choice or an option. I don't think I finalized that. Yep, didn't finalize that. You know what? Never mind. Just leave. I don't care about you. Side appears to be picking up some kind of runoff from other locations. It might also be food storage on this side. This whole area is so just kind of wacky and poorly built that I sort of stress about it, but what are you going to do? Yeah, this appears to be bearing the brunt of their, I don't know, dinner-related assault, their culinary assault. I'm thinking now that we have more tables, it should help out a little bit, assuming more people don't move into this neighborhood. I think we're still probably going to have to retrofit over here and make it work a little bit better, especially now that that's up and running. And so, like, what I would do is maybe have these draw power from over here. And are those connected? I think they are, yeah. They got a little wire cable right there. And so once that's done, we'll bulldoze this guy down here. It's all connected through that spot anyways. We'll hope a connector doesn't get hit, because if any of these connectors gets hit, it's going to create pretty nasty set of problems for us, but take this all back. We're not going to use this security console anymore because we have the bigger security place over on the left-hand side. And then I'll try to make better use of this space over here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try and do anyways. We'll try and make better space of all this. But that's going to be the end of the episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Planetbase. I will see you all next time. I do, everybody.